Oh, Hume Football League, the exciting time of the season as we head through everyone playing everybody. It's not that far away with a 12-team competition, and we're up to round number 11 this week. Phil Bouffler is with us. How are you, Phil?
Well, thank you, Wayne. Yeah, good day over here. So, no rain today, so that's a positive.
Yeah, positive. I was actually chatting to some people from Urana, and they were telling me that just about every piece of farm equipment's been bogged so far. It wasn't just the big case tractor either.
No, well, there's a lot of bog stories getting around. So, just been a little bit of a problematic year. So there's a lot of spraying still to be done. A bit of urea. I was talking to a fella from Hender the other night at our a board meeting, and he was saying that they were getting helicopters in to spread urea and spray over there at Handy. It's pretty wet over there as well. So in the Hume League area, it's pretty wet.
Yeah, very wet. Well, wet, but no trouble for Osborne on that lovely piece of grass. It was 15-19, 109 to Culcan, 6-3-39. Oh, this is like a Rolls Royce, this purring machine of the Tiger Purr.
They're purring along, Wayne. I've said that for a while now. They're just doing what they need to do. And hopefully in the next few weeks I'll get a couple of tests. They've been out on their own for a little while as sort of clear favourites and playing well every week. And it's just going to be a matter of one of the other three or four sides who are just knocking on that second and third position to step up and test the mettle a little bit. But it was a big win against Culcan, really. Culcan are playing pretty well, and that's a huge win, really.
Yeah, Marcus Roberts tried hard for them, and Jack Chesser kicked 4 in a good performance, but Joel Mackey and Hugh Smetzer, 3 apiece. Again, the regulation share it around here. Duncan McMaster, Carl Schmetzer also was very good, and Connor Galvin, who I think is the favourite for the medal at the moment. Over to the game between CDHBU and Lockhart. Lockhart would give it a little slight chance here, but it wasn't to be because the Power kicked 20 goals 16 to 4 goals 8, a vast gulf between the two sides.
Saw the Power bus go past about 11, 12 o'clock in the morning, so they come over on the bus, or a few of the players and that, so that was good. But they were too good. So it was a good win to the Power. They need to keep winning those sides just around that 6 and 7 if they've got any chance of playing in the finals. Lockhart battled on, and the kids are going well. You hear good reports about Lockhart, even though they're losing. There's a very positive atmosphere at the club, and the young blokes who they've got this year and the young girls have been really good. So they're siding them up for next year. So that's not all doom and gloom in there. It's quite positive.
Yeah, Chate Birkinshaw with a couple, very good. Young Abraham Wooden is going very well. Good stuff from him. Brett O'Rourke booted 6, and this Brent Rose has been a top liner. He kicked 4. Corey Smith 5. They have got some good players. They just haven't clicked, I don't think, since a very good start to the season. Ramwell Bundry Waller, they have clicked. They were magnificent. They absolutely did the job over the old foe Brock Burham. 13-16, 94 to 8-6, 54 at Walbundry. I'll tell you what, the Giants are making giant bounds for the finals.
Arguably, probably the best win of the round, nearly. I mean, that was a very good win to them. I think the BB Saints are up 2 or 3 on the late, and the Giants have got to keep winning. If you want to get up into that second and third and get another chance position, well, you really need to win these games. So often these games will slide by, but that was a big win at home. First game they played here at Walbundry. And 5-goal win, 6-goal win, very good win.
Their defence held up, kept John Spencer to 2 again, which is what we've seen with the 2 losses that we've seen for the Saints. Spencer's been kept to a couple. Josh Kaczynski added 2 to help them out, but Jeremy Luff was good for them, and so was Andrew Sadler. But Nathan Wardier started, and I said this last week, he kicks a bag each week. He got 5 of them. This time was best. Holman, very good out of defence. Brian Lierski is an underrated player. Harry Kreuzenberger plays well each week. A very good effort from the Giants. It was the Billabong Crows taking on Gindera. They put up a very credible effort, the Crows, but Gindera got them in the end, 11-12 to 6-5.
I went down to the Gindera game, so the oval looked fantastic. It looks really good, the oval down there, and they're doing a good job, Gindera. So that was a good win. They needed to win that game, and the Crows played well. Had a couple of their better players were out, but that's not an excuse. Everyone's got a few out this time of year. But it was quite a good game actually. So I quite enjoyed it. So And the best pie in the league, of course, at Gindra, so that was good as well.
Ah, yes. Oh, you would have your pies, I'm sure. Mitchell Lawrence with 3. He kicked a few pies. That's on. Good game from him. Benjamin Collins with a couple. And it was Dom Bunton, Xavier Bunton, Nathan Cook, Henry Dorr and Charlie Magro all kicking singles. Looks like they just need to pick up a good big forward to kick multiple goals for the Crows to get more wins on the board. Holbrook, they've got big forwards and they've got big scores, 28-13. Murray Magpies 2-3. Probably not a lot to say here except a very vast difference between the two sides.
Big difference, and that's there's a bit of a gap there. So it's just I think the Murray Magpies, I see they just recruited another fellow from Lavington before the 30th of June, so that's a good thing for them. And but there's a gap in these two sides, and it was on show that day.
On show because Luke Guestier booted 11 goals in a magnificent performance to be one of the leading goal kickers in the competition. Howlong 9-16-70. Henty 9-4-58. Henty, I think, won't play finals in my opinion from here. But Howlong, it's been a long time, but they're very, very good this year.
They'll be in the mix. 9-16 wasn't great kicking to 9-4, so another 12 points. But it was a good win to Howlong, and once again, that's another side that just needs to keep winning these games. If they drop one of these, you get back into the mire, and it's very hard sometimes, and you regret at the end of the year if you let one of these ones slip mid-season.
They certainly will. But Shannon Turley, he's been great for Henty this year. Another 6 goals to his name. Plays cricket pretty well too. Dylan Hoare, Ethan Muller also amongst it. Hamish Clark played well on the side of the winners at Howlong. Okay, that brings us to round 11, and it means that the round where everybody has played everybody, and that is a very important thing. We'll look at the premiership table next week and see where things are at. But Gindera get Henty. This is a real danger game for Gindera, but I think they can overcome Henty.
Yeah, I think they probably will. Just on form, I think Gindera would be the favourite side. But once again, if Henty want to get anywhere, they've got to beat Gindera. So this will be a close game. But I just, on what I saw last week, and I saw Henty a couple of weeks ago, I think Gindera would be the better side.
Near neighbours are the Billabong Crows and the Ramwell Walla boys. This one is at Urana. Billabong Crows will come out hard early, but I think Ramwell Walla are going so well at the moment that the Wardius-led forward line will kick enough goals to beat Billabong Crows.
I think they probably will. I might duck down to this game and have a look. I'll go to a local one this week. So that'll be the game I'll head down to. So Ramwell had a great win. So they've just got to put a couple of good wins together in a row. You can't have a great win then sort of fall off a bit the next week. Crows will be a little bit disappointed. They get a couple of their better players back. So it'll be a little closer game, but I think the Giants will be too strong. Lockhart
play Culcairn. It's over at Lion territory. Unfortunately, the young kids from Lockhart will keep showing up, but it'll be a tough afternoon.
The only highlight for Lockhart will be my, I shouldn't say this, but I've got my niece playing netball, so that might be all right. She goes pretty well. She's back to Melbourne for a little while. So, so anyway, my brother's up and about a bit. So, I think it'll be too strong. Culcairn will be too strong over there.
Ah, yes. Good on the girls and the netball. Jace, just to cover that with us, see to HBU. And they've got Howlong. This is a beauty at Corrine. And if the Power are any chance to, switch the lights back on, so to speak, then they've got to get those spider webs off of the light.
That's it. The solar power, they need to fire. So this is a danger game for Howlong, because one of these days, HBU are going to click again, and they'll play a very good game. So this is a sort of a little almost a danger game for Howlong, this. On form, Howlong will be too strong, but it's a great ground. The ground's in tip-top condition. I was there a few weeks ago, and it's great condition, the ground. And but I just think on form, the Spiders will be a little bit too strong.
Oh, I'm going to tip a little upset here. I think the Corrine boys at home might just be singing the song. Murray Magpies, we'd love to see him sing the song, but not this week at home against Osborne. It's top versus bottom. Only thing about it is Osborne go through, what is everyone handing around, sharing the goals, maybe could kick a bigger score than they actually do. And that could well be something that doesn't happen this weekend.
I've seen the Magpies play 2 or 3 times, and they played very well. They got off to a great start against the BB Saints earlier in the year. They were probably 3 or 4 goals up at quarter time, so their endeavour's always fantastic. Probably one of the reasons Osborne goes so well is they have actually got so many avenues to goal, Wayne. They're just not relying on 1 or 2 players. So they'll be too strong.
And the big one is the match of the round, Brock Burham versus Holbrook. I'll tell you what, this is going to be an absolute beauty over at Burrumbuttock. And the reasoning for this is that they've got the Brock Burham Saints at 28 premiership points. They're 2 games adrift of Holbrook. And if you want to be in the top 2, which is the place to be in the top 6 competition, then Brock Burham have to win at home over Holbrook this weekend.
It's a pretty important game for them in their season, really. It's a big challenge against Holbrook. So this will really test out where they stand in the whole league, really. And just on how they've been playing, I think Holbrook will be too strong. They've got a good side, Holbrook. So, I think Holbrook will get up here.
Oh, I tell you what, it's getting really interesting because 3rd to 6th is going to be those eliminations which come up at the end of the season in finals time, and that's where clubs don't want to be. But then again, if you're going to be there, you want to be against the weakest side possible when you're in that top place 3rd or 4th. So we have a look at it with the Phil Bouffler each week. It's a big weekend. He's going to get himself down to Urana, but just watch out for all the bogged tractors on the way, Phil.
Well, hopefully they'll be in the paddock and not on the roadway. And so, I think a lot of the blokes have finished, the cropping sowing part of it's over. Just the spraying part's very problematic. And just with the plains, it's been a bit windy, so plains they're a sort of a last option, really. You end up getting it stuff.
Very much so. Phil Bouffler calling Hume football and a bit of agriculture too for us. Good to have your company. We'll catch up with you next week.